MIT's Initiative on Combating Systemic Racism, ICSR, is an effort jointly led by the Institute for Data Systems and Society and the Sociotechnical Systems Research Center. ICSR's mission is to identify and overcome racial discrimination in the US.
Any one body of knowledge cannot solve this problem because it doesn't have one origin.
We're not really focused on prejudice, but rather how technology, education, various institutions result in systemic racism.
We have created verticals that are of interest, including policing, housing, healthcare, and social media, among others.
Can we utilize all sorts of information and data that's available out there to understand what is the role that things such as race plays in different decisions that are made in the criminal justice system? Computing has a huge role to play here.
We want to stitch the data sets together so that we have a more comprehensive and holistic view about the law enforcement systems.
I don't want to see people have a higher likelihood of entering the incarceration system just because of the color of their skin. The hope of this project is that researchers will use the information that we put in the database to advance racial justice.
Social media serves different types of content to different people, whether it's through predatory advertising or thinking about the emergence of white nationalism. We're trying to get a better sense of why that's happening.
If a user watches a particular video or a sequence of videos, do they then get served another video that's maybe more extreme? We hope that this will not only influence the scientific community, but there's also an element of wanting to help the platforms themselves.
This vertical looks at the potential of technologies that combine the imagination with the physical world to address the issue of systemic racism and other forms of discrimination.
Games and immersive environments can be very powerful, and we aspire for our research to contribute to social justice and to promote anti-racist behavior both in physical and virtual worlds.
Our goal is to use techniques like machine learning, algorithms, AI, to try to understand the gaps that exist in healthcare and perhaps making the system better overall.
Through the ICSR program, I have been able to learn about research beyond the scope of healthcare, and I really look forward to collaborating with other researchers to combat the systematic bias together in the future.
Housing security is essential for other things like food security, for having educational access, and for holding down a job.
We work with the Tenants Association at this housing development. Participants are heavily involved in the actual production of information and data being used for tangible action afterwards.
We are applying the modern tools of statistics and causal inference to first identify mechanisms that drive racial disparities and racial bias in housing.
The challenge and really the wonder of this project and its excitement has been to bring together different bodies of knowledge, different domains of knowledge, all to bear on solving this larger problem of systemic racism. We want to be in the mix, helping to make a better world, and this allows us to do that in a uniquely MIT way, and one where we focus specifically on thinking about systemic racism.